Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to the Comic Book Talk podcast for September 20th, 2019. I'm Chris Adams, Second Master, joined by.
Buff Larkin. Now, here's my fun thing about my good friend Tekken here, is that he texts, like I text him, I send him a little message, and then he sends me a message, and his texts sound like your drunken girlfriend on a Saturday night.
What?
It, it, it's like, hey baby, when are you coming home? And and, and and this is what I get in response. And I didn't text him this. This is just in response. This is an actual quote. Okay, actually, sorry. Here, I'll be official. Okay, I'll say downloading Skype again. This is me. We'll be on in 10. All right. This is the text I get from Tekken. All right. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt.
That is not.
What the heck is that?
That is not. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt. And it's like,
Oh,
okay, baby.
Okay, what happened on that was I used voice recognition, and because I was playing, and I was like in the middle of something, and I just pushed, and I tapped it, and I was like, okay, I'll be on after I finish this hunt. I didn't say I'll be whatever whatever it recorded.
I'll be on that drive. Finish
And I
this
looked
hunt.
at the sentence, and like it looked half right, and like it looked like all the words, it's like it looked right, but then I guess I didn't actually read it to like proofread it, so I was like, oh, okay, it's
So
right.
now,
I did.
so
So
now,
I did not know until you just told me that it did not tell. It did not spit out the
yeah,
right sentence.
technology is not your friend, Tekken. Just remember that. The technical overlords that will run us over in another decade or two are not your friends. They'll probably be your friends. You watch The Matrix, but that's all right. All right. So I want to put let's play Masterpiece Theater. All right.
Okay.
And playing the part of boyfriend at 2 in the morning, it will be me. And playing drunken girlfriend at 2 in the morning will also be me. So technically, you just get to be the director. All right, and action. Hey, baby, what's going on? How come you're not home yet? Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt.
I mean, also,
And scene. No, you ruined the scene. And scene. Thank you very much. That's all my acting skill right there. So
I mean, people make typos all the time when they're texting because it has like the whole like predictive text and stuff. So like
yeah.
I would imagine that like you use it enough that just sometimes it gets it wrong. Like maybe I was predictive texting and I was like, okay, I'll be. I mean, I meant to put that, but it came out as that. Sometimes.
Okay, Tekken.
Yeah.
I know you as a video game connoisseur, and yes, I do know you don't sleep and that you go on your things. But just imagine if I didn't know you, and say I was, let's just say I was the United States government, and they wanted to get a hold of you. All right. So they say, let's do this again. I am now the U.S. government, and I'm texting Tekken. Tekken, we want you to come in and talk to us about some stuff that we've seen on the internet of yours. And then this is what Tekken replies back to the U.S. government. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt. You'd be put in jail. And you would not be seen again, because obviously this is some kind of code word for some assassination attempt. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt. So there you go.
That's funny because yeah.
Yep.
You're right this time.
Yep.
This time you're right.
I hope you like the color orange in your jumpsuit. Orange is the new black. Even better than that. It all works like that. Anyways, so that's enough about getting text from you. That's for sure. Let's see. Do I have any? I'm not behind anymore. Well, that's good for. I'm just reading some of your old texts. Then that's good.
That's the only one that did that because I thought
Yes.
it didn't. The last three words were right, and then I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
reading it. So I was in the middle of something, and I was like, okay, that looks correct.
So to tell the whole story,
Good
okay.
enough.
I get on the computer at 9 because that's when we meet. 8:30 Wichita time, 9 o'clock in the morning, London time. All right. So I said I have to get on. My computer's been fritzy. I have to download Skype again. Boom, do that. I text my good friend Tex. I know he's going to be on because he doesn't sleep. So I text him. I say, "Hey, buddy, I'm going to be on in 10 because I don't know how long the Skype thing does, right?" And so okay, 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, that's good. He gives me the coded message. I'm not going to say it again. We'll save that for later on. And I go, okay, how long does that take? Is it 10 minutes? I don't know how long. So I had to I gave him an extra 10 minutes, and then I called him at 9:20, and then we got all set up, so that's good. And then he's talking to some woman. And then he's talking to some woman in the back. He says, I don't have my microphone on. Well, unbeknownst to him, his microphone is on. He's going, hey, baby, I got to get out. You got to get out of here. The guy got a guy on the phone. I don't want him to know. All right? Yeah, no, take the balcony. Take the balcony. I don't even want you to. Don't take the door. 3 floors. It's 3 floors, baby. It's all good. You aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes. It's all good. It's the fall, baby. It's all good. You can jump in. There's still lots of leaves. You're good, baby. I'll call you. I'll call you later. Don't worry. I'll call you later. Yes. You're my hunt. I'm on the hunt. Yes. I got you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jump.
See how you said that? It sounds even like funnier because it's like I didn't think about the whole.
You having a woman in your room when you're talking to me. Hey, baby.
That part is not true.
It was good for me too. Yeah.
I was streaming and then I was saying.
You sure were.
To the stream that I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but instead of just ending the stream, I'm gonna do this podcast while they stream to get this limited weekly hunt thing done, and then that'll be that. And then I said that, and I picked up the headset because I'd answered the call because I saw Buff was calling me when I answered Skype, and he was like, is there some woman there or something? And then
I was going to use the word hoochie, but I was worried that there actually was a woman, and she'd get all mad. Who are you calling hoochie? Who's this guy calling me a hoochie? He doesn't even know me. That's good. Aim for the bushes, baby. Just jump. It's all good. 3 floors up. It's all good. Tekken, are you 3 floors up?
2 floors up.
Oh, that's even better, baby. Just 2 floors up. Just jump. You'll be on the ground before you even know it. Come on, baby. It's all good.
Yeah,
just don't go with the door.
Because I was in the middle of something, I had like one hand free, so I grabbed my phone and I pushed the speaker.
You're not helping yourself in any kind of situation here, Tim.
I'll be on after I finish this hunt. I bet actually I can go back and clip the stream when I exactly said that, and we will have proof that is what I said. But my phone was like being stupid and not human, and like, oh, that's what he said. Predictive text. Wrong.
So you had one hand free. What were you doing with the other one?
It was on the DualShock because I was playing.
You're pushing her off the balcony.
Shut up. It was on the DualShock 4 because you need at least one hand on the controller at all times.
Amen.
And then I had one hand free, so I used that to put the text in, and that's how it came out weird. Because I was like, okay, whatever, looks good. And even if it wasn't, I couldn't redo it the entire sentence. So whatever. I don't know the voice command for undo, so whatever.
So here's the last question. I'll put this all to bed. How big's your font?
I don't know. Probably like 12 points. Or
oh, good for you.
Whatever the default is. I don't really know because I've never seen that option.
You're sending a text. Mm-hmm. Big taunt. Anyways, all right. So enough of that business. Jeez, you're such a smut. Anyways, actually, sorry. I'm gonna read it one more time just so we can close this out the right way. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt.
That's gonna be the title for this episode.
It's not a far jump, baby. Aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes. There you go. That'll be the title. Aim for the bushes. Anyways, tell people just don't put my name to it. Don't attach my name to it. If I just say, hey, everybody, go on Gap 3.0, Gap Face, and just say, hey, just listen to the first 10 minutes, and I think you'll become a legend. But don't put my name to it. Don't put my name to it, because people think I'm just the Reverend, I don't even know that I'm not the Reverend, if you know what I mean. All right, can't sell. You're selling my reputation, if you will. That's. Anyways, so we're here today to talk about a couple things. Number one is going to be the X-Men, because that seems to be what floats Tekken's boat in the last little couple of weeks. Also, what steers his rudder is Borderlands 3 came out last week. Tekken finished it in like a day. Yeah, so that's great. It must have been real fun to finish a game in a day, but that's okay. And any other kind of random stuff we talk about after that. Lord knows we're the king of random. So let's talk about House of X. We are at a pinnacle.
House of X.
The House of X. House of X. Yes, I must tell you this much. I have, and I think it has to be universally acclaimed that this is a wonderful, wonderful story. This is what a reboot should be. I absolutely think if you're going to reboot any kind of franchise, this is the kind of way to go. It's very experimental. It's very, you don't see this ever in comics. And when you do, you pretty much poo-poo it because it's not, oh, that's not how the character would act. Why would you do this? It's like, all of a sudden, it's kind of like if you revamp Spider-Man and he killed everybody like the Punisher. Be like, oh, the new exciting Spidey. Like, what the heck? I don't want to see Spider. No, but this is the X-Men.
It's like it's true to the character at the same time doing something completely new and different.
Exactly. And that's what a reboot should be. Mind you, I just read the Spider-Man book that the J.J. Abrams and his son did, and that was, if I could wipe my ass with paper, and I could pick any kind of paper in my known existence, I would take that book and use it to wipe my ass, because it's the only good only thing it is good for would be to wipe my ass. That was a ridiculous, stupid story. So far, number one, it is shit. But anyways, that's how you don't do something like that. But X-Men, fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And now, this is the point in our conversation when you come and tell me that I was right. The floor is all yours, Tekken. I will be sitting here in my lovely chair.
Time out on that one.
What?
Because you weren't 100% right. You're like close, because they're not technically clones. So,
what? Yes, they are.
They're not clones, dude. It's like their being gets put into a shell, and that's them. It's not a clone. Because of the 5, they use the whole power thing to like temporarily age them to their perfect age or whatever. Or their like perfect state or whatever it was called. And it's like, yeah.
Okay. So how do you make a clone then?
They're not clones, okay?
No, since you just explained to me how these X-Men became X-Men, reborn again, please take the time, Dr. Science, to explain to me how a clone is created.
Clones are like genetic copies. These are like more than that, because they're down to like it's like a
that are aged to a certain age if they have to be.
They're not aged at all. Clones are just
they could be
genetic copies. Like
they could be.
That's why X-23 came out as a kid, because she was a clone of Wolverine. She wasn't a she's not a dude version of him, because he's a dude and she's not a dude. So not a clone. I mean, same genes, yada yada yada, whatever. But like different whatever genetics.
They're clones. I'm right. You're wrong.
They're not clones.
I called it. I called it.
There's
weeks
like
ago.
3 pages of like explaining this.
You called me out on Facebook, of all the places to call me out, in my sanctum. What's Doctor Strange's place? It's the Sanitarium Sanctum. That is my Sanitarium Sanctum. Facebook is that is where you do not confront me. On my that's the only place that I act my normal self, and you go and you called me out in my sanctum sanatorium, and you called me out on what? What is this? What do you mean? What do you mean? Give me proof, Joe. And it's like, okay. And I texted you the proof because I didn't want to put on Facebook at my I didn't want to cause civil war on my Facebook. And here we are, 2 weeks later. I am vindicated, and you're not. I want my that I'm right and you're wrong, and we can get on with our lives.
Not gonna say you're right.
I'm more right than wrong.
I guess.
More right. Now you got to say it now. I was
You're
more right
than
than
wrong.
Thank you. All right, let me just repeat this again then. All right. Okay. I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt. The hunt is over for me being right. Absolutely. Yes, clones. That's what they were. The guy grabbed his balls and they threw the balls and they aged the balls and they put the needle in the balls and then they extract the needle from the balls and then the balls grew up and then did the zip on it and then all of a sudden they got out and they're covered with pus and they're looking at Charles Xavier and he's going, "To me, my X-Men. Hello,
That's
I
the
like
other thing
my
with clones is like they're a blank slate, dude. Like they retain all their memories, everything. Like it's not a clone.
Oh, okay. Gwen Stacy. End of discussion. See,
about
what
Gwen
you're
Stacy?
doing, Grandmaster Funk, is that you are trying to bring reality into comic books. All right? Clones don't do that in the real life. No, but we're talking about comic books, so therefore they can. Gwen Stacy was a clone. She had all the memories up to when she almost died. So therefore, it's a clone. X-Men. And she was aged to what she was. So therefore, clone. 5 clones. Thank you very much. Now, where is Wolverine in all this? He only cloned 5 people. He got burnt. He was Kentucky Fried Chickened up in the sun with Nightcrawler. Where's he in all this grandstand and all that kind of stuff?
He was brought back.
Where?
I'm pretty.
I saw 5.
There's a lot of naked people, and I'm pretty sure he was one of them. I may could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was like one of the naked people because there's a lot of naked people.
Yep. Or as we like to call it, a Saturday night in Wichita. Whole bunch of naked people. Baby, aim for the bushes. That's how. So, moral of the story, I was right. They're clones. Onward and upward. So, now that becomes the catalyst to what could take away some of the joy in this. Because where is the scared for their life factor, in future stories? Is this a one-shot? Is they only got one? Like, if Mr. Sinister only has enough of his lovely DNA for one shot at Scott Summers, right? Is that what we're attaining to here? Is that if he dies again, that's it? Or if Cyclops dies in the brand new series, they can just remake him up again? Or is this something that will be answered before the miniseries are over?
That's possible. It could be answered before then. Because right now it seems like they basically have no penalty for dying because they could just be brought back whenever.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so where's the fun in that?
I mean, like if you look at the temporal angle as far as like the time thing, it's like you can only be like you can't be brought back and then like it said something about like they hadn't tried to I like do different stuff with the shells and stuff, but it seems like you can only like if you're getting older, like you can't be brought back and then like they'll bring. I mean, you could, but like they haven't tried stuff like that as far as like all the different experimentations on like the shells of like different versions of them, like bring back Cyclops in Jean's body or something weird like that. It's like so they've only been trying to do the bring them back as they were, so you could. And like they didn't like actually say if they like died of like natural causes if they would bring them back just to like have them live forever. So, but it was like a really cool way to like undo the whole M-Day thing. I thought that was really awesome.
Yes, and I agree. And that was that when they all died up in space, and I'm no spoilers, but I just said Kentucky Fried Wolverine, so it's like it's all good. It was a wonderful story that caught you completely by surprise because every time you send them up there, they would always win. They kick ass. They find a way out of it, and this time they couldn't. And this time they paid the price. And this time this, and this time that, and that is a very good way to do it. And it was built to such a way that he foreshadowed it in the very first page, and then all of a sudden, bing, here they are, and they bring it all back full circle. And now they've told the backstory, because page 1 of issue 1 was the present, and then they went backwards, and let's be honest, forwards, because they were in the future as well. But now, with the end of this issue, we are in present day. So now let's see where they go. And it'll be next issue's interesting because if you look on the back page, and I just found this out myself, I looked at a review, is that you have some of those issues that are red, and those issues that are red are the very important issues that really you should be checking out because it really is a game changer, those issues. So this one with all the clones, send in the clones. This is one of those that was very important. So and now we know why. Because I was right and you were wrong. And that's why. And history will be kind to Buff Larkin.
Okay, I'm sending you an image of Wolverine since you didn't see him.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Can't we see his hairy ass? I appreciate that. All right, so they brought them all back. That's good. What would have happened to Colossus if he was the one that was sent out into the sun?
Like, what do you mean?
Oh, good. You sent me an image by way of my phone. I hope this is not a picture of a naked woman. All right. Well, there's Jane, half naked. That's good. Yeah, hair covering things. Wolverine. Yep. Yeah. Okay, good. They're all survived. We see them, but do we know them? Oh God, Oh, there's Cyclops. There you go. All right, what would have happened to Colossus? Okay, so he's a man made of metal, right? You throw him out into the sun. What happens? Does he melt? Or does he melt on the inside? Why wasn't that used? There's a perfect thing to be something that was shocking. You like Nightcrawler goes out with Colossus instead of Wolvie, or Wolvie and all three of them go out there, right? And all of a sudden, if they all go out there, Wolverine fries to a Kentucky Fried Wolvie, and then Colossus melts because he's metal in front of this hot sun. That's fantastic. I would have paid at least double the money to watch that popsicle melt in the sun. The metal popsicle melt in the sun. Wouldn't that have been a better scene? Yes, it would have been. I don't even have to ask. We know that was a much better scene if Colossus was out there. Who cares? They would have brought him back the next issue. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest with you. Melt him like a popsicle. Bring him back. Bam, bing, bang, boom, lickety split. You're welcome. Thanks for your time.
The thing I also liked is that you had the like the suicide mission in like the future time before they had that suicide mission in like the present time, and then you had like the Zorn finally like have the like black hole in his head do something. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and when they die, you never gave two craps about them, did you? But all of a sudden, it's Jane and Scott. Oh, Scott got shot in the head, and then he's dead. And I bet you that just rang you bad.
Yeah, I was very not happy.
I was reading a book last night. I can't remember
I was shocked, dude. I was shocked like that. Like at that when I read that issue, I was like, "What? What just happened? They all died?" I was like, "What? No way, no way."
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like in disbelief. I was like, no way, what just happened?
Good, and that's what was needed. That something were happening like that because now we're playing in a different world. It's not playing safe anymore in theory because they just came back 2 issues later. But at the same time, if this it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. That's for sure. But I was reading Old Man Logan last night, latest issue, and a guy came. This guy came and he's wearing a shirt and it said Cyclops was right, and I went Tekken. Is that Tekken? But yeah. So if there's a shirt out there that says Cyclops is right, I'll give it to you. How's that?
That works.
I'll buy it and I'll send it to you. Wherever the hell you're going to be in your life, I don't know.
But I think also if you look at the way that it like their system works is like as long as the 5 are there, they can do it. So it's like they kind of need them. So it's like if one of them, if something happens to like one of the 5, they can't do it anymore. or just like the telepaths that have the ability to store or transmit the genetic material. Because since professors like making a backup every week or whatever, so
Scott, come in here. I can't wait. I hope it's like this. They do it once, and then they try to do it again, and it's not and it's not 100%.
like multiplicity.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we used it once. Okay, now let's because it's a clone, so you're taking it out of the clone.
Oh
You're taking it out of the clone, so therefore it's like a copy of a copy of a copy, right? So hopefully, when he dies the 25th time, and they bring Cyclops back, it'll be as hillbilly Cyclops. I got a beam shooting out of my eyes because he'll be that much deteriorated mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? Copy of a copy of a copy.
It's not.
Yeah, he'll be like Cletus. He'll be Cletus on The Simpsons. Since we're bringing up Simpsons references, Cletus. Marlene, Darlene, Sarlene. These are all my 25 children. Garlene. And they're all the same. Cletus. Come on, Tech. You got to watch Simpsons. Cletus.
It was also cool.
The slack-jawed yokel. The slack-jawed yokel.
I know who he is. I know.
Good. The slack-jawed yokel Cyclops. That's what he's going to be.
I also like the thing they did with Cerebro, because it was kind of like they what they did with like secondary mutations is like they gave it a secondary function instead of just like tracking mutants. It can now I forgot what it was. It was basically it can like track them and like store or detect their abilities.
Yes, exactly, and that's fantastic. I want to see that helmet off. I hope that is the last scene in the miniseries.
Oh, he takes the helmet off.
He takes the helmet off, and let's see what the hell he looks like underneath, because you can't keep that on 24/7. Like in the Venom series, the Maximum Carnage, it's going right now. Venom is kind of teaming up with the duplicate from another universe, Reed Richards, right? And Reed's got one of those metal helmets, but it's more of a cone shape out the back, and so his head is being deformed to match that helmet. Yeah. It's and so I'm hoping that the same thing's happening with Chucky. Is that some? Well, I don't want to be deformed head, but he's got to have he's going to have a bigger head. He's going to be a big melon. He's going to have a big melon for that Cerebral. There's a reason why it's so damn big, and his brain it's like Ken Griffey Jr. drinking the tonic on The Simpsons, and his head got gargantum. That's what happened. You look up Ken Griffey Jr. on The Simpsons, and you'll see that. You look it up right now, you'll understand. Ken Griffey Jr. Simpsons.
And then also, since we had the talk about Moira and like the where is this going with the whole, or just like what's the big bad gonna be that could maybe like go back in time and take her out or whatever. We found in Powers of X4, they had like two different things. They had like Apocalypse and his like first four horsemen that like beat the whatever that was on Krakoa before it got split in two, and so it's like they got split away from everything and they're just like watching it out wherever that one's at. But then like the forces that attacked were like super like it seemed like some sort of like demonic force or something, because it was just like in the ancient times before humans, or like the only mutant was there. And then you had like the Phalanx are back, or not back, but like they're a thing in the future where it's like they're just like the universe-wide empire that's like sucking up everything. Or not sucking up everything, but just like ascending everything, I guess.
Well, there you go. Well, and so how do you think this series is going to end? Because I have no idea what's going to happen.
I have no idea. I think there's going to be. It's kind of like on. I guess my theory would be like since similar to when he did like Avengers and you had like the incursions, but then you had like the trying to keep that a secret, and then also the things that would happen with the incursions is like you had like the map makers You've got the black priests. So it's like there's going to be like we see the phalanx and we see the demons that the four are fighting. So I think they're going to try to like get back to the four and like see, you know, what they've been going through, or just like what the other Krakoa part of Krakoa has like turned into, or whatever. Because there's a part in like the first issue where it talks about some of the some of the gates are cancerous to Krakoa, and like they like hurt it. So it's like there's like maybe some like different islands that would destabilize the Krakoa like lands that they're trying to like build up or something.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then on like the future side, you just have like the phalanx are like obviously just like apex level top tier threat of just like galaxy wide span. It's like essentially like the Borg, and just like some way in the future to like defeat them. And it seems like from that last issue that they're going to try to like use the shell resurrection thing to like infiltrate and either defeat or break down their side, and then use that to their advantage to try to beat them. But then like it got like so super sci-fi, like that one issue when they started like talking about like hive worlds and like world mines, and it was just like super.
Oh
super
yeah.
out there. It's
Well,
like, wow.
he has a blank slate now with the X-Men. He can do whatever he wants with them because the property is at its lowest point. We thought it was at its lowest point. Well, it was at its lowest point before Bendis showed up. He's brought it up a little bit, and now this guy's going to take it from there, right? So it'll be interesting. So he can do whatever he wants, and they'll ride it out as long as it can, because the best thing about it is that after he's gone, it's going to be shit again. So let's be honest. It's just then it'll be back to, hey, let's go play baseball out in front of the mansion again. Oh, mansion blew up. What the heck happened? So that's the sad part about all this. I shouldn't say that about because the Fantastic Four, he left, and it was still okay after that. It's good now. It's not as high weighted stuff that Hickman was doing, that the new person's doing, Dan Slott, but it's still very good. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's back to being it always been the family. It's more the family again this time around. Now the Avengers never recovered after he left. What he did with the Avengers, Hickman, was the very last good thing of the Avengers, in my view. All right, they told the story. The universes were colliding into each other and all that, and he took it, he ran with it, and there's nothing good since for the Avengers, because I've been trying to read that now, and it's like, hey, Ghost Rider, hey, great, hey, Johnny Blaze, hey, that's great, but it's just like, ugh. It's like, no. It's just like the Justice League of America. I'm trying to read that horse crap, and it's like everything's coming at you 15 different miles an hour. It's like, I don't care. I just don't care, and that's sad, because it looks like this big monster storyline that's been years in the building, and it's just like, I'm just not feeling it, sadly enough. This whole Lex Luthor with superpowers and all that blah blah blah, it's just no. It's no. This year the villain, no, not liking it, not at all. Not at all.
Do you think that that the status quo change was up to par of what they were promising with what they showed?
With the Avengers?
With the X-Men.
Okay, so repeat that again now that I can say it's the X-Men. So the status quo?
Yeah. Like the status quo changed, since they said, like, you know, they've been hyping this up, you know, Hickman on X-Men, the status quo change. It'll be like different than ever.
Well, he killed off all the X-Men, and he brought them back as clones. That's a big status change for sure. He has turned and look what he did with Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's like basically brought in the villains as well. Like you have
Yes.
Magneto and Xavier as like the top two on the team, and then basically like even like brought in all the villains, because it's like more of a story about mutants in general, like mutants together. So I really like that angle as far as the mutants united.
And that was what happens when they finally get together, Xavier and Magneto. And the best part, the best line, the best line of the last issue was Apocalypse himself
Oh yeah,
saying,
he's like, you finally have like
"You did it."
got to where I like you met your potential of like what I thought you could accomplish. I thought that was great.
Yeah, like the strongest. Yep,
You've been
here
trying
we
to do what I've
are.
been you finally did what I've been trying to do all along. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's like that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic because that's what he's been aiming for all this time. And finally, okay, you did it. All right, I'm joining you. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I thought that was
Let's
like
go.
yeah, that's like one of my favorite things about this current thing that Hickman's doing is just like just seeing all the mutants like set aside all their differences and like just seeing them together like work together as a society because that's like their goal because like they like went to the UN to get recognized as like a nation like that was I was just like man I love it it just keeps getting better and better and just like I can't wait to read the next issue and I'm just like all in on the storyline until it's done.
How
It's
bad
so
would
good.
it have been if these were monthly issues?
Oh my gosh, that would have been a slow burn.
Yeah,
I'm also
yeah,
glad about that, dude. Like having like be able to like read it weekly until they relaunch everything.
yeah. And then they have like 18 books after that, so you'll be fine for the rest of
There's
your life.
not
Every week will be.
18. There's like 6.
Yeah, and they're gonna stretch that out as much as frickin' possible. Anyways, and who's writing all? Hickman ain't writing all those 6.
Mm, that's true, but they are.
Is he writing any of them?
He's written like 2 or 3.
Okay.
The mainline X-Men one, and then I'm not sure which other one. I'd have to look it up.
All right. Who, if you were to cast somebody in the role of Apocalypse from the Gamers Advisory Panel, GAP 3.0, who would be Apocalypse?
Who would be Apocalypse from the Game Advisory Panel? Well, I don't know anybody that's always going on about the strong shall overcome or survival of the fittest. So
George.
I was gonna say E Dragon because he's like the oldest or one of the oldest, so it's like
George.
his wisdom of like that would maybe.
Who would be Magneto in the group?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. I think I'd make a good Magneto.
You would. No, I had you down for Cyclops.
I could be a Cyclops too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Cyclops. That'd be you just pick that. George. George would be Magneto. Who would be a good Professor X? Hope that wasn't you farting.
That wasn't. I was thinking. Professor X A. I don't know.
Buff Larkin. Anyways, so I bring peace to wherever I go. I want nothing but happiness and joy. So shut up. Anyways, that's enough of that. All right, so how's this miniseries end then? I know I want Chuck's head to be like that. Did you get my text, Tekken? Did you get my text?
Which one? Oh, you mean the image you sent me? Yes,
Did
I
you
got
look at it? That's
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. There you go. Oh, by the way, can I just tell you something about Ken Griffey Jr. since we're on the topic, and it is related to video games and related to comic books. One of the best baseball games ever was Ken Griffey Jr.'s Baseball. Not the second one. Not the second one, even though it had all the big leaguers' names on it, right? That was okay. But in Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball, if you played for the Milwaukee Brewers, you could act like they had B. Banner, B. Wayne, C. Kent, P. Parker, and you could play as as characters from the comic books as your baseball players.
Good. They were in the game.
They're in the game. Now, named. You're not having Bruce Banner come up there and well, he was, but it wasn't like the Hulk or anything like that. But it was the name. They named the players after,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
They use their alter ego names as the
Yeah.
characters.
And batting ninth, which is the worst spot, was a guy named Piece of Crap, and that was known as Cyclops. So that's how that was.
Okay, I just looked up the list, and Hickman is writing X-Men and New Mutants. The rest are not Hickman.
So he's writing one book.
No, 2. X-Men and New
2.
Mutants.
And X-Men. Oh, New Mutants.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, so there's one good book to read. All right, that's good. So it's basically Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation. Then he's just doing the same thing as he did with the Fantastic Four. He tell a story with the kids, and then he tell a story with the main adults. So there you go. Nothing wrong with that.
But then there's going to be a new X-Force, so I'm interested in that, especially with the new status quo as far as like if you can't die, like what crazy missions would they go on?
I'm sure. Here's my thing. I think Moira. This is my long shot. Okay, Moira dies again, and then things get altered a bit, and probably the whole clone thing gets altered, and everything else stays the same. There you go. We'll find out in a couple more weeks. It'll be done. What, in October? Is this all done at?
Yes.
We're at issue 5, so there's only 3 issues left then, right?
It ends next month because October is when X-Men's relaunching, October 16th. So
there you go. So I'm sure
some of these are launching in October, then some are in November. But yeah.
Well, we are in for some surprises, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
That's the important thing. Oh, Tekken. So that's our X-Men talk. We'll have another one probably in another 2 weeks where I yell at you some more about how bad Cyclops is. Now, let's talk about Borderlands. Borderlands 3. You bought it first day. You went to your local video game store.
No, I didn't.
You went to your local Walmart.
I downloaded it.
You downloaded it. Oh, you are the scourge of the world.
How am I the scourge?
Because you're taking money out of the brick and mortar places.
Okay.
Wow. Jeez. So just remember, next time you want to get a video game, it's not online. You have to go to a store, and they're gonna say, "Who are you? Get out of here."
It's called Amazon.
Amazon. Oh, jeez. Get out and see some sun.
No,
that's all I'm saying. You big hurt.
What's
the weather like today in Wichita?
It's sunny and hot.
You should go. You should go and experience some of that. Go for a walk. Feed some ducks. Are there ducks in Wichita, Kansas?
Yes, there are ducks.
You should go feed some ducks. You should get them. Get a bowl of green peas, and they just eat that stuff up like there's no tomorrow.
According to my phone, the high is 80 and the low is 72.
Wow, not much of a shift. Wear a sweater. I don't know if 80 is really hot or not. That's all right. I'm Canadian. It's all good. All right, so Borderlands, you picked it up on day 1. You've got the extra DLC content edition. So therefore, any DLC that comes down in the future will be in your computer first, or in your console first. So you played it. You're done with it in a day.
I'm not done with it, but I did finish.
Well, you finished the main story mode in a day. You were. Let me just repeat what you had here. All right, you're hunting or doing something like that. Hold on a second. That's right.
Are you talking about the thing from earlier or something else?
Yeah. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt. But you play. How long did it take for you to finish off the story mode?
I mean, total time spent was like 30 to 40 hours, but like the story itself was probably 20 to 30 hours because I went and did side stuff while I was doing it to level up.
Did that warrant? And did you really need to level up? That's my question.
Yeah, because there's certain parts where like you'll get to it, it just you kind of feel like you're not heavy.
You're outmatched.
Well, the thing is like the way like the inventory, like your gear, your inventory and your gear works in the game is like, you know, you'll level up and you'll get stuff at that level, but then the enemies are usually either at your level or like one over. So it's like if you're, but then like the way that the guns work and like the way the drops work is that you'll constantly be getting new stuff, but it's not all good. So it's like you might have like an awesome gun, but it's like level 20, but like you're level 30, so it's like you're using you're using the underpowered weapon against enemies that you need to like have a better weapon against. So it's sometimes you just gotta like go in and get something better.
So did you find the perfect gun?
There's no perfect gun.
But did you find one that was like, oh, I love this gun?
Yeah.
And what was it? What did it have?
It was like a fully automatic assault rifle. It was pretty cool, with like a good scope. And then actually I kept it because I was like, I love this gun, so I still have it. It's like level. I basically kept it so it can be like a template for like guns I get that are like higher level to be like, okay, does this match up with like this gun that I had that was like really good? Because that's like really the only thing you can do to like try to
So,
get stuff that's like really awesome again.
so were you a sniper?
No, I was using an assault rifle the whole, like after I got the after I got an assault rifle, I just kept using that, and then my character, I have abilities on them that was basically get better damage. If not get better damage, have like a bigger magazine for assault rifles, and then I just like try to like maximize gun damage all the time.
So what were you in the grand scheme? Were you the tank? Were you the action fighter? Were you the silent assassin or whatever that other fourth one is?
Oh, I was the gunner.
You're the gunner, like the action star?
I don't think that's I don't know, because there's the siren, there's the operative, there's the gunner, and there's the beastmaster person.
So you're the Cyclops of the group.
How am I the Cyclops?
Well, I'm just saying you're like the leader. You're the dude. You're the action
There's
guy.
no
Take
leader
action.
among them. They're just four balls.
I know before it picks, yeah. But you, well, you think like you have a like I say a Jean Grey would be your siren, I guess you'd want to say, and then you'd have like your Beastmaster would be like Wolverine, or your tank would be like Beast, and then there'd be Cyclops.
If you say so.
There you go. That's the spirit. See, finally you agree with me. Now tell me I'm right about the clones.
Okay, you're really making me annoyed on the whole clone thing. I want to just like I just want to like get to that page where it explains it and just like read it verbatim to be like, see, it doesn't say clones.
It took you 12 years to be annoyed with me. That's very good. That's a new record. Took my wife like a day. Anyways, so Borderlands, you've played 1, 2, and now 3. Which one is your favorite?
That's, I mean, 3 is the best because it just has all the
All the bells and whistles?
it's like 1 is like dated. It just isn't as good. It just doesn't have all the like the polish and like the better features and stuff that they added to 2. And like 2 is like a really good story, but I don't know, 2 is like really good as well. It's just like it has like a good villain, and like 3 feels like it's basically took all the best things of all of them and just put it into this one, and it has,
Which is what you want, right?
yeah, and like it continues the story, and like you get like, you know, more story, more character building, and like all the you get to like, you know, see all your characters and like what's happened since the last time. So I think 3 is easily the best.
And it didn't try to break the mold.
Yeah, that too. It does
to try something different.
It just is what it is. It doesn't try to like be something else or completely different.
That's good.
But it does like add stuff on top of it to make it new enough to like keep having like to add more replayability. Because after you finish the game, you get the like the mayhem stuff, and you can like just make the game more harder, but the loot gets better. So it's like a really cool way that they basically make you. Or not make you, but like it's a good example of like the gameplay loop in a game that like rewards you to like keep playing and get better stuff, and then like make it harder and get even better stuff. And since there's like 3 levels of mayhem, you can just like go all the way, and just like it's like really hard, but the loot is so good, and it's just like, oh, and it's so cool because like what I did that like for a day. I played on like Mayhem 3, and I was like, wow, this is really hard. But then, like, when I went to, like, the lower difficulties, it was just, like, a cakewalk, and I was like, wow, I feel so awesome, because I just got all this really awesome stuff from, like, the first mode. So I thought that was really cool. It's like, once you just get really
and you can use that loot,
go back to, like, the lower stuff and just blow through it. It's great.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. So, and this is a direct quote from you when we talk about stuff like this. So it's not a game that is about the Batmobile.
No, it's not about the Batmobile.
That's my new saying when it's stuff like, so it's not a game about the Batmobile. You know, why would they make a game about the Batmobile, he says. It's like, hey, let's do this about the Batmobile. It's like, nobody wants a game about the Batmobile. They want a game about Batman. And that's exactly what this is all good. So, and for people who are listening, and this is why we get around here, is that when I asked about the question, well, did they break it? It's and Tegan said no, because some companies try to break the wheel. They have a wheel that it works, that it rolls, and it makes them tons of money because it's on the wheel. The wheel is on the wagon of money that they're dragging, and then they decide, oh, It's a wagon full of money, absolutely. Just think of all that money, just big pile of money on this wagon, and the wheels are rolling, and they're doing just fine, right? And the oxen that's pulling it is like Arkham City and Arkham Asylum and all that, right? So, but then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, let's just change it because of change, and let's just make this game about the Batmobile." And it's like nobody cares about the Batmobile.
That was the other cool thing is like Borderlands always has like really good boss fights, and there's so few games it seems like now that like give you boss fights that are just like that feel satisfying, and this game has satisfying boss fights, and it's just like yes. Because that's the other thing that I like about it with like the mayhem system is like actually get like all the awesome stuff. You can just like reset your playthrough and just like play through it again like over and over and over. So it's like
Oh wow.
I mean I kind of wish there was like more to it than just like playing through the story again, but like every boss and every like major encounter there's like a specific like weapon or loot or piece of loot that like off like each like boss or enemy that you could get that's like really unique or awesome that does like cool stuff. So that's like kind of is like worth it to like play through again like to get some
Now,
of the things.
so when you're playing the boss and you beat him, because you've done this a couple times, right? You've beaten the same boss once or twice.
Yeah.
Is it the same weapon?
Well, I don't know because it's like unless I had like a strategy guide or something of like what drops what. So it's like
Okay, I'm saying
it depends.
if one has been fantastic, right? And then you go and play him again, is that going to cause like do you get the same weapon? That's what I'm kind of
You
saying.
don't always get the same drops. No, that's kind of like why there's.
But in the boss fights, that's it. I know shooting everybody else, you get different loots every time you go around. But I was thinking with the boss, if it's a specific weapon, is it the same specific weapon?
Oh no! It's usually like a better version of it because it's like you usually get better loot. It's usually better, but it could also be like not as good if you're playing on like a lower difficulty of like what you got your stuff at. So it depends on like what you're playing at.
What is a game that you have bought, played, got rid of, bought again, over and over and over? What is one of those games?
What? Got rid of and bought it again.
Well, I know it's asking you something that you probably never have done, but you played a game and then you've gotten rid of it and then you've got it back.
I never.
And you
I've
said,
never done that.
you've never done that. 2 games are for me that I've done that with. One is Burnout Paradise. I've played it. I bought it, played it, traded it, picked it up again, traded it back in, picked it up again, traded it back in. Now I have it on my. I got it digitally, Tech, and you should be happy. But it was on sale for like $4, so I picked that up. And then the other one is Borderlands, the original one.
Yeah, because the only time I ever traded in games was when I had my Nintendo 64, and I needed some money to get some games for my Dreamcast, so I traded in like a couple games that I never really played, and they weren't really like any good ones, so I never got them again to play them.
Well, there you go. Well,
I didn't end up regretting it though, which is why I never traded in games after that. So
you're a particular man with a peculiar set of skills. That's for sure. That's for sure. So, so there's no online play, or is there online play? There is online play, is it not?
Yeah, it's 4-player co-op.
And so now you're going through the raids.
There's no raids in this game.
So what's the big deal with going online then?
You get to play with your friends.
And do you have friends?
And the more people that are playing in a game, the better the loot is. So it's like you have an incentive to play with more other people.
And so who do you play with?
The first time I played through, it was mostly just me. But then the second time through, it was like I played with Gamerate 12 and like just random people because the lobby system, for whatever reason, you can't have as friends only. You have to have it set to public.
What?
You can have like a thing where like your friends can join you, but they can only join you after you invite them. You can't just like leave it open for like them to join, which is like what it used to be.
Yeah, so you can't.
I don't know why they did that, and then.
Just like the old SOCOM, you'd have a code word and you can go. You'd have the room set up. People would just come in and all that. SOCOM. Look at that name from the past. That's right. Oh, how old were you when you were playing SOCOM with us? You're like 12, weren't you?
I was not 12, but I was
13.
Not old either. I was not in my 20s, that's for sure.
Did your mom get mad at you when you were playing SOCOM with us that late in the evening on Saturday nights?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Did you tell her that you were playing with Buff?
No.
Oh, you should have. That would have caused. That
I
would
never
have. That,
told everybody about like what I was doing.
why? I told my wife, hey, if I ever brought up the term SOCOM Saturday night, right now, she'd just walk out of the room. When are you coming to bed? I'm playing with Tekken. Leave me alone. Go to bed, woman. Anyways, and we're still married. Figure that out. So, is this a game of the year so far for you? If you were to rate this game of the year, would it be?
I wouldn't, just because of the like the gameplay loop is good, but Monster Hunter World Iceborne's better. Because like once I basically had my fill of it, I was like, okay, I'm going back to Iceborne because it does something even better than what this one does, with the whole like do something and then you. Okay, well, Logan made this point when he came into my stream one day and I was talking about it because like the way I talk is like and I like had been up for like 20 hours, so I was like
Oh,
very out of it.
I know how the way you talk, Tech, and we talked about 10 minutes about how you talk.
So I was like, you get the thing to do the thing with the stuff, then you do the thing again to get
And
more things
thingy.
and stuff, and the thingies, and like you just keep getting better thingies and stuff, and thingies and stuff, and he's like, so things and stuff, and I was like, yes, things and stuff, and then yeah, but it's basically even better because it's like you hunt the monsters, you get the materials, then you get the armor or the weapons that you're wanting to get, and then you get the stuff to make your armor even and weapons even more powerful, and then you keep going in the circle. It's just like a circle of life. Or the gameplay loop is just so good on that one because it's just like, oh, I got this thing. Oh,
So
what's it do?
this is Monster Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter, whatever. Okay,
Iceborne.
Ice, whatever. I've had this hatred for Monster Hunter for many years, and I've almost felt like buying it just so I could say I hate it, and I bought it to prove my point, but I haven't yet. But it's an interesting concept to say the least. I should give it a try, but Jenna would then would hold that against me for the rest of my life. So I don't think so.
Why do you hate it?
I can't. It's part of the routine now. I don't actually hate it, but I just have to say I hate it because that's my shtick for the last 12 years. Tekken. It's been my shtick, so I always have to say I hate it. Anyways, and that gets people upset, and they say, "Oh, that's Buffy. That's just him. What he always says." So there you go. Anyways, so not a game of the year. That's still going towards Monster Hunter. And any more?
Well, actually, as far as like new games, I would say Devil May Cry 5 is probably at the top. Resident Evil 2 Remake's really good, but Devil May Cry 5 was just like the action and combat in that was just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Control is actually pretty good, but it wasn't. It was like the length of it. It's like not a very long game, but it was very satisfying to play that game. It's just like the powers you get, just so good. The gunplay is amazing, so fun.
Okay, so what games are coming out now in the future, in the rest of the year that could battle Devil May Cry as for game of the year for you?
The only game I'm looking forward to for the rest of the year that like might take the spot is Kojima's game, which is
Oh God!
Death
Come on! Is that even coming out this
Yeah,
year?
it's coming out this year. It's coming
They've
out
been pushing it now for like 8 years
in
now.
October, November. It's got a
Oh
release date.
God! You really think that's? Oh man!
His
There's a
games are amazing,
baby.
dude. His games are always good.
I know, but it's come on.
Like, I was hesitant on Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, we don't need this game to exist, and like it blew me away. It was like it was so good. It was like so much better mechanically and sound, and just like it played as good, and like the story is great. And I was like, wow, okay, I was wrong. I will never speak ill of Kojima-san's work before it's out again because that one.
Kojima-san, you're fantastic.
It made me go back on my word of like after Metal Solid 4, there's no more things or there's nowhere for the series to go. It needs to end, and then like 5 came out and it was like amazing. It was like wow, tied it all together, tied it all together even more than 4 did at the end. And I was like oh wow, so they kind of explained some things that happened as far as like stuff I'm not gonna talk about because it's spoiler stuff, but it was like oh that was really cool. So yeah.
Kojima-san. Very nice. I appreciate that. As a man who watches New Japan Wrestling, I appreciate it. Kojima-san. I really do appreciate that. That's a little tip of the hat. Thank you.
I mean,
It's a baby in the game. Come on.
The the
as
games
you
that
would
he
say, Tekken.
the games that he has helmed that have been developed are just like, it's a very strong lineage of games like Zone of the Enders, Metal Gear Solid, Snatcher, uh, you know,
There's a
all.
difference. This is going to be a good test. Then there's a difference between a man who's making a game for a company and a man who's making a game for himself.
And then like also if you look at
And
PT when that came out before Konami killed it, like people were so hyped for like the next Silent Hill game, and then people still want to play. I mean, people still play PT like because it's so good, but they didn't get like the full version. But it's like just going off of that, it's like that was a great experience.
we'll just see how having ultimate control and nobody saying, maybe not have the baby in the game.
There was
That's a little weird.
there was a presentation at Gamescom and they explained it. I tweeted about it, but like it was weird because it started with your character peeing in a field or something, and it was like at some like the translator when he was talking, it came across as something like the main goal of this game is to bring people together, but like everyone was like laughing because the character was peeing, but it's like, oh well, you're trying to bring people together. But
Everybody
hey, everybody
pees.
pee.
Everybody
Is
pees.
is a weird and funny moment.
Yeah, emphasis on the weird. Okay, so Borderlands out of 10. Borderlands 3. Well, actually, let's rate all 3 games. When your experience. Rate all 3 games. So let's start with the latest one because it's fresh in your memory. Borderlands 3 gets a what?
I give it an 8. It's a solid 8. Like
Borderlands. You only said that because I said 7 before we had even started talking.
I don't agree with like in principle of giving games number scores anyway. So whatever.
Good. Borderlands 2. What do you give it out of 10?
Oh, Borderlands 2 is a 10 for sure. I mean, it's a 9. I mean, I went back and played all of them, and like I forgot how good that game is because like the story and like Handsome Jack as a villain is just like so. Just the things he does to just rile you up. It's just like so. It was just like so ahead of its time. Like the way that their villain was like presented in that game. It's just like I would say like that and like the Far Cry villains after like 3 and on are just like so good. 2 not so much, but like Vaz great. Pagan Min or whatever his name is in 4 also good. It just continues that lineage of like poking the bear in the eye of just like what did I just do to you, oh yeah, like that, and then like eventually you get to like murder them and it's great, and it just like feels so much more satisfying like after that whole like route, like it's like the hill turn, like it's like they're doing like bad things and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get them, and then you finally get them, it's like, yeah, they got their comeuppance and it felt great. It's like so good.
So you like to kill people, huh?
I don't like
That's good to know with the U.S. government now checking out your texts and your messages
only
here.
the bad ones and only in video games.
Okay, all right. There'll be a whistleblower here, and they'll say you're talking to some guy from another country. And delicate. You promised me something, Tekken? Are you promising me anything? Anyways, you got to keep this topical. So when I listen to this back in 10 years, go, what the hell was I talking about? Which is actually most of what I hear. What the hell was I talking about? Anyways, and of course, Borderlands 1. What do you give it?
Borderlands 1. Ooh. I mean, it's so basic though when you go back and play that one. I guess like a 7. It's not bad, but it's not near as good as the other ones.
It creates a strong foundation for the future game. So, let's say Borderlands is on the ground floor, and then Borderlands 2, second floor, and then Borderlands 3, third floor. Jump off the balcony, aim for the bushes. There you go. Perfect. See how I tie it all in together, Tekken? At the end of our lovely conversation, absolutely. So, anything else you want to talk about, Tech? Before I have to go pee in the bushes?
I got the Saga Compendium, but I haven't read it because
Who?
The Saga Compendium.
What the hell's that?
It's all the first, all the issues of like Saga so far. I just haven't read it because I'm behind, so I can catch up now because it has all the stuff in it.
Good. Well, we'll talk about next time.
And it's an actual physical thingy, and I don't usually get physical stuff, but it's like my favorite story of like ongoing right now. It's just like I wanted to get like the book 1 when that was out because that was like such a good arc, the Lighthouse arc, but I didn't. So, but eventually I think I will, just because it's like it looks pretty. So,
Very nice. Oh, excellent. And so they're coming back what next year with they continue on. They're gonna take a year off, and then they're coming back, right?
I don't know when they're coming back, but they're on break. That's why I'm trying to
Yeah.
catch up before it comes back.
Lying. There you go. Perfect. All right, Tech. Anything else to go before we leave?
Dang it! I had it pulled up, but then I closed it because I was going to talk about the Hold on, give me a second, a minute or second. But I will be getting all, even though Buff says like oh we'll see how they run that into the ground, or oh it's not gonna be that great. I'm totally gonna get like all of the.
I'm not a negative man. You always portray me as being a negative man. I'm not. I'm a man. I'm Professor X. I'm a man who's positive about the future, and I think there's good things happening.
If J.J. Abrams' comic was toilet paper,
That was a load of shit, and I don't care. Even Professor X would look at that thing and say, "That book sucked the big one. It sucked my big helmet." That's what he would say.
But yeah, I'm gonna get all of them. So there's X-Men, X-Force, New Mutants, Marauders, Fallen Angels, and Excalibur, and I'm going to be picking them all up. And then we'll see what happens after that. But definitely the first issue, I get all of them, and then going forward until like they start being bad, I will.
So who's writing all the other ones then? Is that still up?
X-Force is Benjamin Percy.
Don't know him. Oh my god, I'm not gonna read it.
Marauders is Gary Duggan.
Ooh, that's ringing bells. Okay, interested.
Fallen Angels is Brian Edward Hill.
Nope.
And then Excalibur is Tinny Howard.
All right, one book. That's not bad. And it's Marauders. That'll be interesting to see what he does. That'd be very good. And again, Immortal Hulk. I keep telling you, read that book. It's fantastic, but you haven't done it yet, so that's okay. I'm spoiling right now. Bruce's father in the Green Zone. I swear to God, it's the only one that hasn't popped his head in. And yes, that is a pun. Bruce's father in the Green Zone is the leader. I'm saying it now, so that when it's revealed, I can shove it in your face and say I called it. So there you go. Time? Probably. I keep saying it until it happens. They've brought back every Gamma character so far into this Immortal Hulk series except for one, and that is the leader. And all of a sudden, the more you see his dad in the Green Zone talking to Bruce, the bigger that head gets. And I'm saying it's leading to something. He's the only dude that hasn't shown up yet. There he is. There, that's my last rant of the day.
And also, apparently,
don't show me your pornography. Dawn of X, whatever.
I was gonna say, like, apparently they're calling this the Dawn of X, so I'm totally in. I'm all in. I can't wait. Like after the whole House of X and Powers of 10, that ride that we've had, it's been a fun ride. So I'm looking forward to this continuing.
Good.
Julie's in one of them, so yay.
Oh god.
And then like the Fallen Angel one's cool because it's Psylocke, X-23, and Young Cable. So the one that came back and killed old Cable. So yeah.
Well, isn't that something? It'll be very interesting to find out what happens then. Perfect.
Oh, also, last time you said you wanted Moon Knight, and you got Moon Knight. Are you happy?
Yes. How's that for an answer? Yep. As long as he's still the crackpot. See, it's a very fine line for Moon Knight. Is that you either have him as the complete crackpot or you have him as the cool guy who's nuts. And there is a difference. There is a difference, and that's what we got to see here in this in what we're seeing with Moon Knight. Is this guy completely a whack job, or is this guy a cool guy who's completely nuts? So it's going to be interesting.
And you want him to be the completely nuts guy?
I want to be the cool guy who's completely nuts. Yes, it's like and if you ever read Warren Ellis's Moon Knight, which I do recommend.
Wasn't there only like 5 or 6 issues?
Oh, this is pretty much
Okay.
And then he handed off to.
It was like the recent one, right?
Yes, okay. And I think it would. And
I'll check it out when it's on sale.
Oh, it's fantastic! Like they're just single stories, man. And that's what Warren Ellis does. He tells single story issues, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever starts, ends. Now there's a flow over the whole course of his run, but he tells a story and you can pick it up, drop it down, and walk away, and you'd be fine with a good story, right? So I love Warren Ellis. Always have. In fact, and to tie even more into what you're saying to me earlier, I picked up Planetary #1. I do believe it was it was a Planetary issue. I think is either 3 or 4. All right, I remember the issue. And on that same night, I picked up the comic book shop. I went down and we watched The Matrix in the theaters in the original run with my buddy. And that was written by Warren Ellis. So there you go. Life is good. See how Joe Buff Larkin ties it all in a beautiful knot. And I would like to end this conversation with an official quote from one of my mentors and idols. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'll be on that drive, finish this hunt. Truer words have never been spoken. At all. Ever. To be on your tombstone, Tekken. When you pass away and they drag your carcass back to America, on your tombstone it says, "Here lies Chris Adams. You've lived, I'm going to say you're going to live 100 years. And underneath, it'll be that message that you want to give the future of the kids. Okay, I'll be on that drive. Finish this hunt." And you know something? That truer words on a tombstone have never been said. So there you go. Don't wait for me. I'm finishing this hunt. Absolutely. All right. So, Tekken, anything else you want to add before we end this thing? Because I might go end up peeing in a field somewhere to keep this going. I'm an old man, you know. Liquid doesn't stay in me as long as it usually has. That's all I'm saying.
I really enjoyed the. I was really hoping, since they showed Nightcrawler with the sword, that he'd like teleport in and start like slashing up people, but they didn't show it. So I'm hoping that we get to that point where, like, you know, they showed it, they teased it. It's like, you know, he had a sword, didn't really. I mean, it was like more like off screen because there was like that, like 2 people he did like take out, but it was like, I really wanted to see that. So.
Well, like, he got burnt up in the sun.
Yeah, but it was like so looking forward to like him seeing him with like the sword do some stuff, and it was like, it didn't happen.
Now that guy, when he got faced in the sun, he went like crispy. Yeah, like he went beyond crispy. He just in little flakes. He went as soon as he popped up. He went. He exploded. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. I think Wolverine was actually trying to fight the sun for a second there too. That was even better. He thought he could take out the. He thought he could take it out. He's like
so slowly, just like breaking apart.
In theory, that's your Colossus moment, I guess. He's got adamantium. He is melting too. Okay, I get you. All right, but it's still a man of metal, like on the outside, would have been great to see melt like a popsicle. That's all. What would have happened to him on the inside? Because he's like. This is my question to you. So he turns metal. All of them turns metal, right? It's not just the outer shell turns metal. It's actually the whole body turns metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just I put the shell and I'm still like flesh on the inside of it. No, he's all metal. He's pure metal, right? So therefore, if he melted, it would just be like flump, like that into a puddle against the sun. It wouldn't be like, here's a bit of goo from the flesh popping out. No, it'd just be metal down like that. Science is your friend. And you wonder why we only talk like 2 or 3 weeks at a time. I think that's more on you than me. I could talk to you every day. I absolutely could. You're a delightful person. You're a delightful person. You know, a lot of women talk about you on the Slack chat. You know, they say, "Hey, what's Tekken doing today?" I say, "Hey, man, I don't know. He's living his life. He's still growing that beard." I said, "Yep." He's proud of that damn thing. And he goes, "Well, you know, if he shaved it off, he'd get more, you know, hump to hump." And I go, "Hey, that's Tekken though. Whatever works for him." Whatever works for him and his celestial juices. See, this is what happens when you keep me past my pee time. Now I'm keeping you past anything there. So, what are you doing for the rest of your day? What are you playing?
Monster Hunter.
Game sucks. All right, perfect. All right, so Tekken, sign us out, mister.
All right, so yeah, that's it for Comic Book Talk podcast. I will be very much enjoying Dawn of X when the titles get here next month and in October, November for sure. And I'm loving Hickman's work on House of X and Powers of Ten.
House of X, to me, my Oxman. Come to me, my Oxman. My House of X.
Oh, did we talk
look
about
at my
the whole,
helmet.
that was like cool that they did finally, like, yeah, you did say like they went back with like the whole plant people, but like they did finally explain that, so that was nice.
Yeah, the clones.
And I'm glad Gold Balls is prominent because he deserves respect.
Yep, he created the incubation cycle for the clones to be grown in.
They're not just balls or eggs. Har har har.
That's right. To grow the clones in, and so when the clones come out of the casing, the clones can then be called the X-Men.
They're not clones.
If it walks like a clone, talks like a clone, and is built like a clone, more than likely it's a clone.
There's way more going on there than cloning.
History will be kind to me.
Because without Proteus to warp reality, you wouldn't need that if it was a clone, like a just normal clone, or just like you take the DNA and just.
Don't be throwing your fancy college words at me. Previous or whatever it was.
I also like the fact that it made like Hope relevant. It was like she actually does something for once.
And about getting shot at, yeah.
No, the whole like powering up people and like making them powered up and then keeping them at their optimal whatever when they're doing the thing.
Yep. Viagra.
I just really enjoyed the whole like concept of the 5 because it was like kind of like the first you have the first 5 X-Men, now you have like 5 X-Men.
Are you saying she's mutant Viagra?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so I'll make sure.
Helping the species or helping them carry on and survive. So yeah, that was great. I just loved it. I just loved that last issue. So good. They finally explained the whole thing.
Perfect.
And the handshake with Magneto and Apocalypse at the end. It's like you're like
see
with your mortal enemy. It's like
yep.
So good.
Apocalypse. I'm telling you. He stole the show for me that last issue. I think
he's in if not Marauders, Excalibur. He's in like one of those series.
Yeah, one of those I'm not gonna read. No, sorry. You write something, and this is your Bible. He's writing the Bible out right now for the rest of the whatever, and then you hand it off to people, and people don't get. They get the premise, but they don't get the soul that Hickman put into him, right? So you're getting nothing but a shell, just like Colossus in the sun. The shell. That's all you're going to get. And so I'm very worried about what we're going to get post Hickman, right?
That's a good point, because when he was doing Avengers, and it was like Avengers and New Avengers, but there was like other Avengers stuff, but I wasn't reading it, so I don't think it was probably.
Yeah, and what happened? And like I said before, what happened to the Avengers after he left?
I don't know. Nothing. I stopped reading it.
There you go. It was down the poop. That's what it did. So before we actually end up, because you're just keeping me on here, and I've already peed my pants. Sinister. Give me your views on Mr. Sinister. I want your take on this Mr. Sinister fellow.
I think he is deceptive and untrustworthy.
And flamboyant. If anything.
That was just weird, man. When they like went to his island and it was just like a bunch of like it was like the island Dr. Moreau, but like Sinister edition.
Well, that happens when you're an expert clonist.
That's like all he did was like make copies of himself.
Yeah.
And just, like, he killed some. That was weird.
So what did Chuck and Magneto talk to this master clonist about? I can't remember what. Can you please remind me what they went to this island filled with clones to talk to this guy who made the clones? Can you tell me exactly what they talked to the clone master about in regards to potentially to the X-Men? Can you please tell me about the clone guy?
His expertise with the genetic
material. Genetic material. Okay, so and they went and then what did they do with that knowledge? The next issue after. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm old, and so my memory isn't as good. So I'm just trying to piece it all together. So they took the genetic material, and then they created beings out of the information they told them and the DNA structure from other people to create the people again because they all got blew up and killed. Okay, so history will be right with me. History will be right with Joe. They went to a clonist. You don't have to say it, Tech, and your silence.
They were talking about indexing DNA, okay?
Yeah, for what reason? Just for
Cataloging.
fun? For
So they could have
shits and
backups
giggles.
when they
They die.
when they use the 5
backups.
to put them in the shells because they're not clones.
You're the best. Stick to your guns, baby. All right. Anyways, Tekken, it was a fun time talking today. Thank you, everybody, listening. And if you've listened this long, hats off to you. I love this man, and I love talking to him, love making him laugh. And this has been a great day. So thank you, Tekken.
And then like Xavier also did that thing where he's like, you're only going to remember this when I tell you that you remember. That was kind of weird. He's
Yeah.
like, keep working, and you're only going to remember when I tell you to remember.
And who do you tell that to?
Sinister.
Yeah, see, exactly. Oh, and he's cloning, right?
He's not cloning. He's indexing DNA.
Yeah, but that's what he was trying to do. That's what Cable was.
Oh yeah.
Because he cloned Jane Grey.
His clones are failed clones, dude. Okay.
So
his
that
clones
he,
never turn out like perfect,
that-
perfect match. It's 100%.
So then he
Just
so
go
then
ask,
he got Cyclops to get it on with her, so
just
they
go
can
ask
create.
Madeline Pryor, okay?
Yeah, so that he can go ask they get it on, Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. They got it on and created a baby, and the baby was Cable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that just led to more clones. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I also like that part when like Jean comes back and she's like, "There's only one Jean" or something.
Nope. There's at least now 2. So
Maybe
she's
there's 2. I
well,
also like how she's going.
one
by
that
Marvel
died
Girl
on the
again.
ship. The one
And-
that died on the ship, and one that got shut off in the exit pod, and then that jumped on her anyways. And then there's this new Jane that came out. You sent me the picture. The woman's breasts were covered with her hair. It's like she was wearing skimpy underwear. It's like what you would show up in when you're cloned and coming out of an egg would be underwear. Of course, they cloned her underwear. How'd that work out for you?
They are not wearing
Naked.
underwear. What are you talking
Clones
about?
are naked.
They're all
That's
naked.
how it works. No, hey, listen. That woman had underwear on.
No, she didn't.
Boopy-doo boop. Oh, sorry, you're right. My mistake. It was Nightcrawler's tail got in part of the vagina, so that's my part. And I hope that never get used against me when I run for prime minister. Oh, Nightcrawler's tail got blocked in front of her vagina. Wouldn't look too good for me. That's for sure. I see, Tekken. This is where I say you were right. See, isn't it nice that people say you're right when you're right?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. Well, this went on 20 minutes, far longer than I thought it was going to. Just arguing about clones. Well, anyway, sign us off there, T.
All right, so yeah, until you see or hear from us again, Comic Book Talk podcast, and we're now signing off.